Hey everybody, this is Jose Blasco. We are about to get started. I'd like to have a quick sound check, if that's okay. We got 40 seconds for a quick message on the chat box. That way I know you hear me. That would be great. All should be good, but that way I know it's all not only good, but perfect, ready to get started. In the meantime, I will turn on my video stream so I can say hello from the bottom right side of the screen, ready to begin the session in 20 seconds. So please, quick confirmation on the chat box with a quick hello so I know you hear me well and sound is good. Thank you so much. 10 seconds to go. We are about to get started now. Thank you for those confirmations, guys. Perfect. Here we go. Time to begin. Welcome, everybody. This is November 18, 2021. This is Jose Blasco. My pleasure to be here to conduct the 3D market commentary today on November 18, as I said. Before we get started, I would like to highlight on the upper left side of the screen our disclaimer. Please read it carefully. This is important information. Please read it completely. Counting on you to do so. It's not that long, isn't it? And again, we're going to be looking at the market from a three-dimensional point of view. We'll explain in a moment what that means in case you are not a usual attendee of our 3D market commentary sessions, and this is something new to you. But anyway, let's get started. Disclaimer is out of the way, so it's time to begin. Okay. By the way, as we are gonna go over the market commentary, you may have questions. Apart from asking during the session, you can always use tradewithufo.com/Jose, which is my name. And here in the bottom part, as you can see, you can post your questions clicking on the Ask Question button. You can also look at many other questions that are already here, do searches, and basically get answers without even having to wait, assuming that your question has been already answered. For the ones of you that would like to access the market commentary I am about to go over in your inbox every day, in case you didn't know, so now you know. If you go to our site, tradewithufo.com/join, you have your free membership right there. You just click on it, agree and join, and next thing you know, you get access to our TRADDICTIV team, but also you receive every day the information I am about to share in your inbox, which, I guess it could be useful depending if that time you have the time to watch this video or you don't. So just know that it's just as easy as clicking on that free section on the website and just follow the steps. Lastly, for us to do our market analysis and trading, we rely on technology heavily because computers do certain things better than humans, such as processing data, and the market is all about data. So we use trading apps. Our trading apps are supported in TradingView, MetaTrader, TradeStation, and our own TRADDICTIV options planner platform, which is, we call it TOP, T-O-P. Today I'm going to be using TradingView. That's the platform I'm going to be using for the market commentary, which, again, we're going to see it as well here in a moment. Okay, so let's begin. On the right, okay, I have TradingView with a chart of the S&P futures. On the left, I have our news flash, the 3D market commentary that is being sent to your inbox in a daily basis, which we're going to go over together. And basically, you're going to see how the information on the left basically translate to the right side of the screen on the real-time charts, okay? But again, for the ones of you that don't know what trading means, okay, so basically we are looking at the key elements in a market when planning when planning a trade or an investment, which is understanding the climate. Is it rainy or is it sunny? Is it time to buy? Is it time to sell? Is it time to not to trade at all? Understanding the upcoming market condition from a statistical point of view. What is more likely going to happen based on stats? Is the market likely going to go higher? Is the market likely going to go lower? This is the first thing that we need to understand. Just like, if you're going to go for a walk, you better look at the weather. If it's rainy, you stay home. If it's sunny, you go out. So kind of the same approach in trading. So we will talk about the market climate in the following analysis that we're about to do. Second aspect is the on-field orders that we call UFOs. They look like flying saucers on the chart, so I'm going to go over that in a moment. Those on-field orders to buy or sell, they will produce market movements the moment those on-field orders get filled. Therefore, knowing where the on-field orders are is a great exercise, is a great idea in order to know what your entries and exits should be. So you buy where the buy on-field orders are, and you sell where the sell on-field orders are. That's quite smart. I guess it's common sense. And then finally, market volatility, which is the third D, tells you more about the upcoming price of change speed, meaning how fast is that market going to move into the future, or is likely going to move into the future. Because if a market is likely to be very, very slow, maybe it's not even worth it to trade it. And the opposite is true. If the market is completely crazy, well, maybe there are other markets that are maybe safer to be traded. And again, all of these depend on your trading style and your trading plan, okay? But anyway, with those 3Ds in mind, let's begin with our analysis of the S&P, which I have on the right. As you can see, I have it right here, okay? And you can see that the S&P is currently in an up climate. So up climate, confirm, blue, thick dot, statistics, 4 out of 885. What does that mean? It means that statistically, the duration of such climate should be close to 9 candles. We are running candle number 4. So, if statistics become a reality, which happens more often than not, even though not always, that's why there are statistics. So then the market would continue moving higher, probably for another 4 or 5 days. Okay, so I would say this is the all-time high on the S&P, and I would say that it is indeed looking like a breakout and a generation of another higher high, another all-time high, I should say. It's looking as a likely thing. Now, if the market was to fall, which it could as well, of course, because anything could happen, the fact is that if the market was to fall, it would hit that pile of on-field orders, and therefore the expectation is, again, for the climate to continue its progression, and therefore for price to move higher for a few more days, okay? So that would be what we understand is likely going to happen based on those stats and so on. On-field orders located at 46.61.5, as you can see on the screen here, right there, 46.61.5, very easy to read. And from a speed of movement point of view, the VIX, the implied volatility of the options of the S&P 500 index, are pointing at 16.76%. That is the expected move in 1 year. So if we were to translate that in a daily or weekly or monthly, we're expecting 49 points a day, or 109 points a week, or 227 points a month. That's the expected move, and this is basically the market commentary for the S&P. Let's continue. We're going to talk about crude oil, okay? Quick note here. In our site, we have courses, etc. Some of you may be well educated in trading and you know everything you need to know, then that's great. Some of you may need reinforcement, or maybe never traded before and need to learn from zero. So wherever you're at, I suggest that you click here, you go to our site to look at the course section, because there are plenty of courses, including a financial sponsorship from ICE, where our futures course is subsidized by ICE at a 50% discount, which I think is pretty nice. But anyway, let's continue with crude oil. So I'm going to change the symbol on the right, CL1 exclamation mark. So I am now loading the crude oil. Automatically the UFOs show up on the screen. Very handy. Let's analyze that market. So where are we at? The climate is down 6 out of 655. Okay, so 6 out of 655. The climate is down, thick and red. So that market is more likely going to move down than up. But at the same time, we will not expect that market to continue moving down for so much more, because it's already moving down by 6 candles, where statistics suggest that 655, let's call it 7, it's the normal thing to happen. Now, of course, can the market extend more or less? Of course, anything could happen anytime. But again, statistically, this is what would be expected. To be honest, since the UFOs located at 7148 are so far away, so probably it's going to take a few more days to reach those UFOs before we have a change of climate. This is one of those cases where often statistics are broken, and it often has to do because of the second D. That's why we look at the markets in 3D, so we understand the whole market environment. Okay, we have received comments or emails with consultations from many of our members in the past, where maybe they were only looking at the climate, or maybe they were only looking at the UFOs, or maybe they were only looking at the trend, or maybe they were only looking at whatever techniques they currently use. And then maybe they would say, okay, well, how come the climate changed ahead of time? How come the climate lasts more than expected? Well, often, not always, because anything could happen anytime. We need to respect that. The market is an alive creature. But often it has a lot to do with the on-field orders. Where are they located? When the on-field orders are very close, like what we saw with the S&P, normally statistics are very likely going to be met. When the UFOs are very far, so often you get to see those markets to stretch beyond what statistics would suggest. So anyway, so with crude oil, we are in a down climate. We talked about where are the on-field orders. Okay, so now from a volatility point of view, we're expecting this market to move at a rate of 33.75% a year. This is extracted from the options prices, options on futures. And in this case, that translated to daily, weekly, and monthly, we are looking at a 1.64 point up or down in one day, 3.62 points up or down in 1 week, 7.53 points up or down in 1 month. Okay. By the way, if some of you are not using the apps yet, which if I can say you should, of course, we are real lovers of the UFOs within our company. Obviously, it's our key product, is patented and everything else, so it's powerful. You should give it a try if you haven't, okay? But if you are wondering how can I do that, you just click on this button when you receive the email, or you just go to our site on the app section and you just follow the steps there. Gold is the next market that we're going to check. So I'm going to change symbol to GC1 exclamation mark, which is gold futures. And notice that that market is kind of like in the middle of nowhere. And here's a great example of what I said before. You can see here that we are in an up climate with gold, okay, 10 out of 616. So in other words, the climate is supposed to last by 6 candles, 7 candles, but that climate has been running for 10 candles. And why is that? Well, because we haven't hit the sell on field orders yet. So there is room for this market to continue progressing because there is no intense selling yet until we reach that pile of sell on field orders, where then the market is likely going to change climate. But that hasn't happened yet. So this is exactly what I was mentioning earlier, when often we see those statistics not being met, and sometimes newer members in our community are wondering, why is that? Okay, and it's just because you're looking at one D only, you are not looking at the other Ds, okay? So anyway, on-field orders, as you can see, located a bit higher at 38.4, right there, 38.4. The buy orders at 52.8. So that's where they are. And from a volatility point of view, we are expecting gold to move at a rate of 16.69% in a year, which translated to daily, weekly, or monthly expected moves. So we are talking about 19.61, 43.17, or 89.86 points, either up or down in one day. Okay. Another interesting blue box to click in case you need coaching. We offer coaching, either in group where we're on. Later, you are welcome to join me at 11 a.m. in New York time. I'm going to be running an options session where, more than happy to coach you on options trading. But we run many other coaching, including one-on-one coaching. Please take a look at our website in case you need support in the form of coaching. The dollar index, it's obviously a tremendously relevant market, which I'm loading right now. Where are we at? Well, we are in a place where UFOs are not too far from each other. And you can see actually how yesterday the dollar hit the red UFO, started falling down. Now there is a green UFO below. So, when the market comes here, it could very well go higher. I would expect, to be honest, this market to go down until the next UFO before going back up. And why is it that I am having that expectation? Okay, when it comes to doing this market commentary, why am I expecting something like that? Well, because the climate, it's confirmed to the upside, okay, as you can see, but it's been running for 6 candles out of 5 would be a normal thing to happen. So in other words, this climate is a little bit overextended. The market is probably a little tired, and therefore, as the market is coming down, those buy on field orders may not be that strong. Many may actually be canceled. So probably when the market was to come down and reach the next UFO, we would be in a stronger situation for the market to go back higher. This may take place in 5, 6, 7 days from now. And by the way, that will be when the down climate is now exhausted, okay? And that would be a perfect time to get back in to the long side with the dollar index. Speed of movement, 698% in 1 year, translated to points and ticks. That's 0.42 points in a day, 0.93 points in a week, 1.93 points in a month. This is either up or down, of course. And finally, the last market for us to assess is the Bitcoin. In this case, we are looking at the Bitcoin futures, okay? Beautiful digital assets out there. Obviously, there are benefits of relying on centralized exchanges, especially with the lack of regulation in many countries around the world. So again, it's all variable and it all depends on where you're at and which one is your broker and so on. There are pros and cons of everything. But the one Bitcoin that we are looking at this moment in time is the Bitcoin, what we call the backed Bitcoin that trades in the ICE exchange, which is obviously a very reliable product to trade. And right now, the Bitcoin is in a down climate, okay, 3, and it's confirmed. Because it's a relatively young market, it's too soon to have strong statistics of what a proper climate is on the Bitcoin. It's a very new market, and therefore we could certainly run stats, but really the data sample will not be significant enough to extract a valid conclusion. So right now we can only report, when it's a new market is what it is, we can only report what's happening in the present with less reference compared to older assets where we have more data to process, isn't it? Again, pros and cons. You trade a new market, you may pick up more volatility, more speed of movement, you get more alpha. That's great. But you also have disadvantages, probably in the form of less probabilities or less of an edge when it comes to doing your assessment, even though it may be worth it, and indeed it is, in the sense that volatility pays much more. Again, it's all about your trading style and your trading plan. So we are in a down climate with the Bitcoin. Now, notice how we got a stack of unfilled orders located at 58,347 right there. So as the market goes down a bit more, it would be expected for the Bitcoin to come higher, but careful here because we made all-time high with Bitcoin, but then notice that on the way down, we have generated 2 very large UFOs, 2 very large piles of sell unfilled orders, and therefore it would be expected to be tough for the Bitcoin to start making new all-time high immediately. Okay, so getting long using that UFO probably gives you a nice trade from here to here, but then probably from here you should expect the Bitcoin to come back down, maybe to a healthier lower level before potentially, probably resuming a powerful uptrend. Okay, but careful with that. 2, not only 1 but 2 sell unfilled orders, 2 sell UFOs. That is not to be ignored. Volatility, of course, way more than any other market we saw, 122% in 1 year, translated to points per day, 4,500 up or down in a day, 10,000 up or down in a week, 20,000 plus up or down in a month. Okay, so that's what we have, and yeah, that's the economic calendar, which I'm gonna basically skip it because today there was nothing too relevant apart from the fact that there was a bank holiday in India, but precisely because it's a bank holiday, it's not too relevant because there was nothing to be reported. So, my friends, my real pleasure to have conducted this 3D market commentary for you. Hopefully, the session was useful to you. Remember to subscribe to the Trade with UFO membership on our join page on the website. If you are not a member yet, it's free, guys, and that way you can interact with us more easily. And on top of that, you will receive this information every day in your email, which is a great way to be mechanical, to have a rule-based process on how to start your day as a trader or an investor, and start being organized, putting on the side everything else on our site, such as courses, apps, etc., which of course will make you even more and better equipped. But again, everybody listening to this market commentary may be in a different place. I'm sure you are. Some of you may be new. Some of you may be very experienced, already experts, and therefore different traders need different tools. Okay, so just surround yourself by what you need. Okay, guys. My friends, real pleasure. See you at 11 a.m. if you choose to join me in the options coaching session. I will see you again. And if not, I will see you tomorrow in the market commentary for tomorrow, Friday as well. You guys take care. Bye-bye. See you then.